Yo, Wicked Crew, welcome to Hangman Entertainment. Huge shout out to our friends in For the Love of Horror. This coming October, they have got the convention up in Manchester, starting on the Friday with an intimate concert by the one and only Slipknot singer Corey Taylor. He will also be attending the Saturday and Sunday of the convention. I do believe the tickets are sold out for the Saturday, but I do think there's limited tickets for the Sunday. Also, there you're gonna have three Michael Myerses. You're gonna have Tommy Lee Wallace. You're gonna have James Jude Courtney and Nick Castle as well from Halloween '78. PJ Souls from Halloween. Rob Zombie's Halloween's. You have got Daniel Harris, and yeah, there's a huge lineup which are going to be there, especially the boys as well, which have also been added from Dog Soldiers. So if you love that film and you want to have a bit of a howling time, so to speak, get your tickets, head on over. I will be there, so come and say hi. I will be walking around the shop floor, speaking to cosplayers, and yeah, giving you Hangman Entertainment's fun adventures for the weekend. So please head on over to For the Love of Horror. The dates are 21st of Friday, which is the Corey Taylor concert, the 22nd and the 23rd of October. So yeah, don't miss out. Get your tickets. They are going very quickly. And come and say hello. So until next time, bye.
So
Welcome to Hangman Entertainment. How are you? And how's the rest of the guys?
it's all good, man. We're all buzzing. We are buzzing, ready for tour, and we are so looking forward to it, man. It's been far too long. We're like caged animals here.
Yeah, I strongly believe that. It's like for myself, it's great to be able to get out and see live music again. It's driven it home to me how important live music, concerts, and all everything to do with that, being shows, being like I say, concerts. It's so important to be able to have a
Honestly,
release.
yeah, that is it. The thing coming back from shows, it was so like blatantly obvious that it wasn't just like the bands that were like really like feeling it from not being able to perform and do their thing. And
Yeah,
it wasn't even that people just wanted it. It was like it was a need, and you could see the release that people were getting from the first shows back, and you
yeah,
could see it now still, like how important it is, how deeply it is in people's souls. Like live music's not just a hobby, it's like it's a personality.
yeah,
It's part of people's being. And you can really feel it. It's something else. It's such a great feeling. Obviously, having it taken away, such a horrible thing to have had happen in
yeah,
order for it to really kind of show. But the fact that it is back and people are so engaged,
yeah,
it's an amazing thing. It really is.
yeah. One of the things which I said to myself at the beginning of COVID was, how can I support bands, artists, because obviously you're unable to go out and tour. So I set myself albums and things like that. They're not cheap, but I set myself a target of purchasing 2 vinyl records per fortnight.
Oh, fair play.
And my record collection has taken off.
I should imagine, man.
Yeah, but
That's a serious commitment.
one of the things which I always drive forward is when you go to concerts, what I say to people is, if you can't afford a lot, support the artist, even if it's just buying a badge. If they've got like patches, if you can't afford to purchase T-shirts and things like that, because it helps.
It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things which you guys can't do what you do without our help as well. So turning up to concerts is so important. I've talked to other photographers which have been a bit apprehensive about going to concerts. And I've said to them, you can't have that mentality because it will just destroy your life.
Yeah, literally. It was so easy to get caught up in it at the beginning, but like knowing that people, the vulnerable, are kind of they're covered with their like boosters and their jabs now.
Yeah.
Like, because that's the real mentality is if it was like coming from a place of empathy where you're thinking about everyone else. It's understandable, but like everyone's got to understand now that like people are covered. You've got to live, otherwise it'll do worse for your health and your mental health from not doing exactly what you want to do.
Yeah.
You have to live, and you've got to do, like, yeah, as I say, it's part of people's souls to be going out there and being in that community. And people really are suffering from being isolated for so long, especially if people have been by themselves. It's an awful feeling, and it's easily it's like a circular thing of the amount of people that are suffering from like agoraphobia now and social awkwardness, and the only thing to stop that is to actively combat it and to get out, and it's the only way.
I say exactly those words to my brother because he's gone into a phase where he doesn't want to leave his flat. Obviously he's got to go out to do shopping with his wife, but he doesn't go in the shop. He sits in the car. And I said to him, it's the one thing it doesn't matter if you sit in the car. Mandy goes into the shop, so he can bring it back out to you. So you might as well embrace it, get out there, do some walking, have a look around, and just try and get back to normality because it's gonna destroy you.
I completely sympathize. I genuinely thought the whole time during lockdown and everything, we kept busy. We were writing the album. We were treating it like a 9-to-5. We were constantly keeping busy. And I thought that entire time that I was completely fine. I was like, I'm not suffering at all. I'm all good.
Yeah.
And then slowly afterwards, going back into it, I can completely like sympathize with your brother there of just being like, whoa, hang on. When I'm getting into those situations, it was really, really weird to begin with. But that's why I kind of forced myself out, because I was saying no to events where I would normally not even think about it. I'd just be there. But I was overthinking things, and I actively had to get out of that mentality. It is like breaking out of a cage. It was just like a head cage.
I was very lucky because I had to, because my parents are quite old, I had to do the shopping for them. So it didn't really affect me because I was still going to the shops, although I was wearing bloody marigold gloves and
Yeah.
I was trying to wear my bloody army respirator as well to go to a few shops, but I was lucky that way. Very
Yeah.
lucky.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
what was life like for yourself growing up? What music got you going forward, and do you still listen to those bands now?
Yeah, absolutely. So what really got me into music in the first place was just having family. Like, I'm the youngest of four. My parents were very much into 80s and 90s rock. They were into bands like Def Leppard, Bon Jovi. So that was my earliest memories. I remember being in the car belting out Def Leppard, and I didn't know what the hell I was saying. I was sure as hell wasn't any good at it, but I was loud. And my brother was into like Rage Against the Machine and like Alice in Chains and like bands like Ugly Kid Joe. So there was like a very early introduction to rock and metal. So it was and yeah, deeply ingrained. Anything that it was Faith No More as well. Faith No More have remained one of my favorite bands of all time. Mike Patton's up there with my favorite singers. And still is all the way through school and everything. So it's funny at such an age it molds, and I go through phases, and I've gone through like all around the houses with the emo phase. I've been through it all, but through it all, the bands that literally the first bands that I ever heard, Rage Against the Machine was that my brother gave me Rage Against the Machine when I was about 6 years old, and he gave me the self-titled, and I still listen to it all the time.
Yeah, it's an amazing album. It's like, for me, I remember when Rage Against the Machine first came over to the UK and they played London, and I had tickets. I went to see it. It was fantastic. Their music it's just out there. It's just brilliant. I think the first 3 albums are flawless.
Absolutely, there's something like soulful and visceral about it, because I mean, a song like this, and we use this as the band as well. Like, when we're overthinking things, sometimes it's just the feeling behind it that you need. Because Tom Morello could shred for days. His solo stuff, he's like picking loads more, but he strips, and in fact the whole band they strip a song down to its core, and that's what sticks with you. Like a song like Bulls on Parade, like the riff for that, it's insanely simple, but there's something so powerful about that. And songs like Bomb Track, like the riffs, as much as they could be overcomplicated, and as much as we love like techie kind of stuff, we really just love like a simple soulful riff with just some fucking balls behind it, and it's unreal. Like, and that's what doesn't age that album, because if someone released or played that to someone now who'd never heard of them, I guarantee that would still hit home. And the message behind it is still, everything is still relevant. It's they're just such an important band, like to myself, but I think to the world as well. They really
definitely. It's like for me, my taste in music goes all the way from Neil Diamond all the way through to death and black metal. And one of the bands which I always go back to is Cypress Hill. And I'd say their first 3 albums were like Rage Against the Machine, flawless. It's like you put it on and it's just off-worldly.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's just brilliant.
That's that.
And
That's the thing with certain bands like that. It's just like people can say, like myself saying, "Oh, that's this simplicity to it," but it's just how do you dare to write that kind of stuff? It's like daring to put it in and to be that kind of raw and visceral. It's just it's absolutely otherworldly.
it's as well when you come across bands like Rage Against the Machine, Cypress Hill, Korn, all these, Slipknot even.
Yeah.
When you come across bands like that, when you're listening to the music, you could close your eyes and straight away, the first thing that comes in my mind is festivals. I'm on the festival, I'm at the front, and I'm getting absolutely destroyed.
Yeah.
And those songs, you just know, as soon as they come on, yeah, I can go fucking nuts with this.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Just nail on the head with all of those. They're like once in a lifetime kind of bands.
Yeah.
That you name it. And yeah, it's seeing them in such huge vicinities. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Chaos.
The new album, Living Without Death's Permission, I give it a very low score of 9 out of 10.
Well, thank you very much, my man.
Yeah, brilliant album. Can you tell me a bit about, you were saying you recording it and wrote it during COVID. Can you tell me a bit more about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So we all, well, half of the band, 3 of us live together here. So we were throwing a few ideas around in the practice room beforehand. And we thought we were going to write a couple singles. We had no, we were maybe going to do an EP. And we had a bit of studio time booked in for, funnily enough, April 2020. And just before that, obviously the world shat the bed, and we all got stuck away from each other. So us 3 boys in the house just made this living room basically into a little studio. So we've got a little like speaker set up and everything in the corner here. We just had a wall of guitars, and we got to writing, and we just stayed up for days on end, throwing ideas around, starting off with some drum beats, and getting bases of songs together. The singles that we were going to release, or that we were going to start recording, that when the recording session actually got postponed, we just scrapped them, and we just started afresh from the start of COVID. And we saw it as a project. Then we were like, we don't know how long this is going to last. Let's utilize every second of this time.
Yeah.
So we started throwing the songs around, obviously sending them across to the other guys as well to hear their thoughts. We got on Zoom, and we just kind of had jam sessions on Zoom, seeing what changes we can make. So we did that during the first lockdown. And then as soon as the lockdown ended, we got the first slot in there. So we recorded the first few songs in 2020. So it seems like a million light years ago now, because after that we pitched those songs to Metal Blade, and the rest was history in terms of that. So then we did the same thing in the second lockdown, and finished the album then and recorded it after that. Then
that's amazing. How much support did Metal Blade give you during lockdown? Did they give you the freedom to do what you needed to do, or was there any pressures from them?
No, they're absolutely amazing. So the best thing was we had the few songs nailed anyway, and as it happened, they had heard a song that we released during COVID. So we thought we were going to start trickling singles out. So we in May 2020 put out a single called "You, Me, and the Devil Make Three." With the intention of following that up then, but obviously that's when COVID obviously took a lot longer than we thought.
Yeah.
As it happens, Metal Blade had heard that song already, so knew what we were all about, like confessed that they love that, and were very much, because the next few songs that we wrote were completely like all over the place, different in terms of like style, and we were unsure whether they were going to like that or whether they're going to want it to be all just like You, Me, and the Devil Make Three, but they were so happy with the variation that we'd given that they said, "You be you, like they like us the way we are."
Yeah.
Which is just unbelievable to hear, because you hear of all sorts of horror stories of labels molding bands, taking the creativity away. Not at all. Metal Blade supported us, and Blacklight Media as well. They supported us, and told us just to do what we do it more.
Yeah.
And that's what we gave them. It was like 4 tracks, and then we went and recorded the rest then afterwards with their help, but in terms of creativity, they just left it to us.
It's to be honest, with all the bands which I've spoken to, that the labels have been fantastic with them. They've given them the time. There's been no pressure, and like you say, that's something which is quite rare, because you do get the horror stories of, "Oh, we want you to mold this album this way. We're going to bring somebody in on a creative level to try and it's good and refreshing to know that labels are accepting the bands as they are, rather than thinking, right, we're going to take this band and this is what we're going to do with them."
Yeah.
So
it's so nice and refreshing to hear, and it also just shows it's a sign of the times that people are open-minded when it comes to music. There's not just one trend happening at any time, so there's no point in just saying, well, you're going to just make this style of music, because there's people out there that now love K-pop and the heaviest of metal. Like, there's people have a spectrum. People love R&B, and they still love metalcore, and like there's not just one trend that everyone's following, that everyone's pushing. So labels are kind of in a position where they're like, yeah, you go for it. It's obviously there's a slight element of risk, but I guess if we came back and it was not to their taste, I'm sure they'd have told us. But they were happy.
But like you say, there's like in the past there was trends, but now I think there's so many amazing bands in so many different categories, like death metal, with the likes of K-pop. It's music, I feel now, is accept us as we are, rather than we're going to try and accept you as what you are. And having bands try to focus on something they're not really meant to be. if they like for example old school heavy metal, I'd rather them build the fan base slowly than them going right. I think we need to change this so that we can attack this fan base.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. Because yeah, you can tell when someone's like audiences are a lot more intuitive and people get it now. People can read between the lines a lot easier, and you can't bullshit your way through.
No, and I think that's one of the things about it
Now.
Is, sorry, I was breaking that pen.
Yeah, sorry, I froze there. But yeah, it's just people can't they can't like bullshit their way through things. People can see through if someone's not meaning it or someone's just trying to hop on a trend. You can see it a mile away. So you might as well do what you feel. And if what you are and what you feel is like 100% like hardcore punk, or if it is just pure thrash, awesome. But if there's an element where you want to mix genres and go in other directions, then so be it.
Yeah. Touring plans. What plans have you got to tour? Have you got any dates set out for this year?
Yes, well, we are going to be embarking on our first UK full headline tour this week. We'll be kicking it off on Saturday at the Camden Underworld. And then we're heading to the Bunkhouse in Swansea. Then we'll be hitting up Birmingham, Newcastle, Glasgow, Edinburgh, Manchester. All in support of Living Without Death's Permission.
Absolutely fantastic. Any festival appearances, any overseas concerts coming up?
So there's things in the works right now. There's nothing that we can say in stone. I know we've got some winter festivals, which is lovely. They haven't actually been announced, but I love that people can't get enough of it this year. So the summer is so crammed that there's going to be festivals and day festivals all the way into December that we're booking at the moment, which is absolutely amazing. We've just done 2000 Trees, and I think that was we are playing Amplified Festival down in London. So that's with a band called Spirit the Air, who are headlining from Japan, who are absolutely amazing. We've got Tigress on there as well, so that should be a good crack. I think that is the last of the summer festivals, as far as I can recall right now. But then we're going to be doing shows all the way through the rest of the year into next year. There's in terms of overseas, there's nothing I can say yet, but there are things in the works. So
that's enough of dipping your toe into the water to let us know if something's happening.
Yes, there's a whole lot happening, and we just can't wait. We will literally want to just hit everywhere. This is the next year to 2 years is just road time. We've got things to make up for now, so and a whole lot of music. So we want to get and see everyone everywhere, really.
Finally, going forward, you mentioned about possible tour dates. Any new music? Any concerts you intend to record? Anything exciting happening for yourselves in 2023 and beyond?
Well, we're constantly writing. So it will be with the label in terms of when we're allowed. We way overwrote for this first album, so things may be cooking up with those songs. We'll definitely be back in the studio as soon as we can and as soon as we're allowed. We will be all through 2023. It's going to be touring season. We will be putting at the end of this year. I think it's fairly safe to say that we'll be putting on our own festival. It'll be
wow.
For the third year running. So it will be in around Christmas time. We'll be announcing more to do that in the coming months. Then who knows? We might be recording that one. We shall see.
Well, this has been an absolute pleasure speaking to you. Good luck with the album. Good luck with your UK tour coming up. If I had known, I would have been at the Swansea gig. But I think there's a reason why I couldn't make it. Because I think Andy did mention it, and I did say I'm not sure if I got concerts or what, but there was a reason.
Very, very last minute for you, but we'll be back. We'll be. We love coming to South Wales. That's home for me and Harley, really. So we'll always be coming back. So we'll catch you on the next time round.
Yeah, definitely, and I can't wait. Good luck with the album. Good luck with the tour, and this has been great speaking to you. And I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Yeah, you definitely will, man. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Take it easy, man.
All right. Cheers, mate.